you listening to UnabOnAir right now? If not, what are you waiting for?
A new program has arrived on UnabRadio.com to live the English language.
Are you listening to UnabOnAir right now?
UnabOnAir will bring you news, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon. Join us at UnabRadio.com and enjoy the UnabOnAir experience. News, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon.
Good morning, Maria. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine, well.
You're doing fine? You're doing well?
I never know how to answer that. Fine, thank you.
Sometimes the students say, fine, fine, thank you, teacher, and you?
But
and
that's so, I don't know. Like
sometimes, well, when that happens, sometimes I tell my students, this is what school had put into your brain. It's like the mechanical answer, okay? It's like the mechanical answer. It's like another mechanical thing that school given us in our brain is the question to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
They say, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And as a teacher, I constantly say, I don't know, can you?
Can you? Yes.
Or do you have any physical problem to go to the bathroom? Do you need anybody to? Are you a handicap? No. So the question is not, can I go to a bathroom? The question is, may I go to a bathroom, please? So there are some other things that are put into your brain. And that's something that I try to put away from my students' classes, you know. So I say, hey, how you doing?
Fine.
And they have to say something that is not fine, okay, or and you. So they start saying like things like, I'm feeling exhausted, I feel motivated, I feel tired, I feel worried.
I don't know how I feel. It will work.
Eh,
I don't know.
I don't know, teacher. I feel weird. I don't want to say how I feel. It's my private life. So in that way, you promote students to speak. When you take the students out of the mechanical things, you promote the students to speak, right?
That's interesting.
That's what I try to do. And every time I get into the classroom, well, not even on these remote classes, but also into the well, let's say the prisons classes. And I start by asking my students, like, hey, hello, good morning, how you doing? And please don't say the typical answers. Give me something new, give me something different. And they start like looking on the phone. What can I say to you? And I say, give me something new, but give me something real, right? Okay. Don't invent your answers. Because when you give personal, real answers, it makes you speak more, like explain, you know? Okay, how you feel today? Teacher, I'm tired. Why? If the answer is true, it's real for you, you explain why you're tired, because I've been in classes from 6 in the morning and now it's 2 p.m. and I haven't stopped and I haven't taken any lunch, right? But when you invent your answer, it's difficult to make an argument and it's difficult to support your answer. So if I ask you, how you doing? And I say, I'm melancholic. Why? And you start like inventing. What can I say?
Because I feel melancholic.
Yeah, but if you make a real, if you ask your students to give a real answer, it's going to be easier to give a support on the answer. So it's going to motivate speaking.
That's a good exercise.
Master degree. That's what you learn, you know, small tips and stuff. Okay, so when I was thinking about this show, I was thinking about what can we talk about, and immediately came to my mind, I don't know why, maybe because of the tons and tons of memes that I've seen these days about many things, you know, about the vaccine, about money, about James, about Tino Esprilla. So I was thinking about funny things in pandemia. So why not talking about the funny things that we have seen as teacher and as students? Obviously not mentioning any name, right? and respecting the student's identity.
Okay.
Okay, so I go first. There are many things. It's difficult to rank the funny things. I mean, it's difficult to say this is the funniest thing and this is the next one. No, we're going to mention all the funny things that are in the same level, right?
Right.
So I give you one, you give me one. So I start. One funny thing that happened to me is that I was in a class in remote. We're talking about remote things.
Of course.
I started a class and I log into the university system and I get into the classroom and I was with the students and I was like watching screen when they got this presentation that you can see all the students, and I start talking, hello, how you doing? Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about this, but before I'm going to show you the class objectives. So this is the class objectives, and at the end of the class we are going to evaluate if we can do it, the famous I can or I can't, and blah blah blah. We're going, and 10 minutes later I stop and I say, why are you so shy? So what's going on? What's happening? Tell me, do you have any problem? You don't like, are you in a different class? And the students start writing, profe, no se le oye. Profe, ¿por qué no se le oye? And I have been speaking like 13 minutes with the speaker off. Huh?
And no one say anything?
No, because I forgot to activate the camera.
Okay.
So I was talking to people without letting them look at my face. So immediately they will recognize and say, teacher, your mouth is moving, but we cannot listen to you. But as I didn't activate the camera, it was impossible for them to know that the class had started. It was 13 minutes and the students start writing like, profe, la primera vez, profe, a todos nos ha pasado, profe, no sé qué, profe, no sé qué. That was so funny. What about you?
What about me? I was in a class and I start like, please turn off your cameras in a way to improve your Wi-Fi connection. So I will be the only one with the camera on and go on. And 15 minutes later was my Wi-Fi dead. I went off. My Wi-Fi dead. Died. Absolutely dead was. So I was joking about my students, about their Wi-Fi signal, and it was my Wi-Fi signal who died.
That happens, but it's funny. The problem is,
and when I reconnect myself, I was like, okay, I was making fun of you, and now you have to make fun of me.
The problem is that you cannot laugh that loud, because you are the teacher, so you are supposed to keep calm and continue the class.
Exactly.
Something funny that happens to me is that I use this material.
Yes.
Yes, to teach alphabet.
Cards, yes.
So you can make many things, like you can ask him, hey, what's the name of this animal? So what is this? So what is that? Okay.
Okay.
So I got them in this box. It's not only for the alphabet, but it's for objects, you see, for vocabulary.
Yes.
Okay, good. And I got this, and the night before I had been playing cards. Okay, like playing. How do you say solitario in English? I don't know. Well, and I don't know why I mix the boxes. Right.
OMG.
So I put these cards into the Las Vegas box, which is over there.
Okay.
And I put the other cards in this box. And I was so concentrated in the class, because when you are in a class, maybe the students don't know, but when you're in a class, what do you have next to your desk? You have something to eat, something to write, And obviously you have the books and other materials. No matter if you got the book online, you need it on paper because you have to be before the students and giving an advanced check to the contents and stuff. Okay, so I got many things here like pens and stuff, and I got like the box. And I said, okay, we're going to start talking about vocabulary. So I'm going to refresh some vocabulary. I'm going to show you a picture, and the first student to tell me what it is, I'm going to give him a point, an extra point. So you're going to say, but you couldn't you identify the difference between the card? No, it's the same size. And at the back, oh, you got the letter or the object, okay?
Okay.
But these ones, which are the instructions,
Yes.
they were in this box.
Okay.
So I put my finger in and I took off the first card, and I was like looking in the list, and I put it here, and I was looking in the list to what students I was going to check, you know, because I organize them in groups. And I was checking and say, okay, what is this? And the students say, teacher, that is teacher, how do you say picas in English? And I was like, because, but why? And I still have this card here looking at me.
Okay.
And in here, I have the poker card. And I was, but why do you say picas? No, it's an animal, it's an object. No, teacher, es el día de picas. Y yo, no. Come on, guys. He said, come on, stop talking about games. You have to concentrate. We are in class. And when one student say, teacher, look at the card. Okay. So sorry. We are going to continue.
But that things happen when we are teaching.
Yeah.
As you said, we are so concentrated that we usually disconnect ourselves from other things.
From minimal details.
Yes.
Right. Sometimes you are so focused on the class that it's hard to tell about many things that are happening outside the computer. Like as I tell you, we have the book here. We got that. Well, I got the list. I'm sure many other friends who are teachers, they have the list there because they check participation, and we got like the people like here in front. There's no need to move and see in the list in the computer, but you got it here in the paper, and you call the students immediately, and you check who is participating, who's not, who is in, who is out. So there are many things outside that people don't know. And the funny things happen when those things cross and you got no control on that.
Yes.
What about you? Any other?
It happened to me, but I'm not the starring.
Okay. You were participating in the class.
Yes, I was teaching Photoshop.
So
I was teaching, I don't know what subjects specifically, but I was teaching, and as I said before, I asked my students to turn off the camera. Mm-hmm. When suddenly a camera turned on. And I used to ask, have you any questions? Can I continue? Are something missing? And they usually said, no, you can go on. Okay, I go on. And I was explaining something, and a camera turned on, and there was a student on the living room sleeping. I don't know how that happened. She was a girl. She was lying on her sofa. I could notice that the computer was on a desk, and she was like sleeping, watching TV. That happens like for 2 minutes. It was like 2 large minutes while I didn't know how to react. I had to continue. No one said anything. I was trying not to laugh. And suddenly she woke up. She noticed. She turned on the camera. She turned off the camera. And she disconnected. And she wrote me at WhatsApp teacher, I have some Wi-Fi problems, dictionary problem. And I was like, okay, be safe.
But
See
nothing,
you next class. I don't know how to react.
nothing embarrassing. Like she was like I mean, she was all covered, or she was like wearing a pajamas, or
No,
she
she was
was
like
wearing
so
a dress.
comfortable with a leg over the back of her sofa and her hand folding the sofa. So I don't know how to react. It was so funny. I had to continue. We all were sewing her, so it was kind of funny.
I wouldn't know how to say. I mean, if that happened to me, no. But if that happens to me, I don't know. I would start yelling like, "Hey, wake up! Hey, you're on camera! Hey!" I don't know. I don't know.
I
Maybe
didn't know how to react.
it's something that you don't. Uh, you are not ready for that. Never. Something that happened this time had to do with a lot of students. That was the last semester. They have to use like they have the opportunity to use like the book on the online version. Okay, so what I did the last semester is that I gave them the link, and I gave them the password, so they have to access the link and log in with the password, and that's it. This semester is different. The university make a great effort, and the university is giving them for all the students in My English Lab code, the famous My English Lab code. They don't have to pay anything for the code.
Nice.
And they made also the effort to include the online book with all the resources in it. So we are growing stronger this semester with that material. Now, in the last semester, well, this happens with these students that was in the second class. I was like making an activity in order to know if they knew how to use the online book. So I share my screen and I show him the exercise. You're going to do this exercise and you have to read something and give me your opinion. That's it. Short and easy. But the only intention was to know if they knew how to log in and blah, blah, blah. So all the students were working. You have on the screen all the small squares. This is a student, this is a student on presentation. And one student start claiming like, teacher, I can't get in. And I was like, what? No, I can't get in. Yeah, but you cannot get in where? No, I can't get in, teacher. And I was like, okay, I'm going to send you again the password, the link. So I send him the link again. And no, teacher, I can't get in. And I was like, but what? Okay, I'm going to send the link again. Okay, no, teacher, I can't get in. No, teacher, I can't get in. And I was like, okay. And so I start asking the other students, I mean, anybody else has this problem with the book? Can anybody else have get into the book? What's going on? And does anybody else have the same problem? No, teacher, we're okay. Because fulano tal, this guy, he has this problem, and please, can you please check again if you can do it? What are you using? Are you using Chrome? Are you using Explorer? Are you using Firefox? What are you using? No, teacher, Chrome, no. And all the students start like talking to the guy and say, hey, you have to use Chrome, and this is the link, and they send the link like it was 17 students class, so 16 students is sending the link. This is the link and this is the password. Come on, get in there. And at the end, the student just disconnected. He vanished from the class. And I was like, oh, so maybe he was having problems with the internet, so that's why he couldn't get into the book. So we continue the class. And then the student rolled into the class again, like 20 minutes later. And he started like, teacher, what are we doing? And I was like, okay, we are checking the activity that we did with the book. What book, teacher? The book that we sent you to the link. What link, teacher? the link that I sent and all your colleagues sent. Okay, teacher, okay. This is the link, yeah. So he started and he worked on the activity and stuff. But at the end of the class, I asked him, okay, what was the problem that you had? What happened with your internet connection? Is it okay now? He says, no, teacher, I'm going to be honest with you and with the class. But he said in Spanish, no. The thing is that at the same time, I was participating on a video games chat, on a video games call, and I thought that I had organizedly managed my audios and my interactions. But what I see is that I was talking to you, but I was looking at the video game. So when I say I couldn't get in, teacher, I can't get in, teacher, is that the leader of my team is called the teacher. And we had to get into a house and we have to kill many people, you know, in the video game.
Yeah.
And when every time I say I can't get in, teacher, is that I'm talking to my leader on my campaign and telling, hey, I cannot get into the building. Why? And you start like sending me things. So when I noticed that I was like switching off or that I have my audios crossed, I started thinking, what can I do? So I immediately turn off the class. And all the other students were laughing and saying, oh man, come on, you're a disgrace. Come on, what's going on? Why you cross the audios? You shouldn't do that. You have to be in class and la 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 la. And at the end of the class, I was like laughing because there's nothing else you can do. But also reflecting on, come on, you are in class. You should be in class. You shouldn't be playing video games.
So that things really happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you?
Past semester, we were making an interview to a Colombian singer. So I was switching the cameras, everything virtual, like we are now. So I was switching the cameras and the noise at my journalist house was so loud.
The music or
yes.
people or what?
No, just noise, like cars, like her dog, I don't know how
barking.
To say, barking. So I got my mouse and try to mute her. But when I try to mute her, the singer talk and I mute the singer. So I cut off her speech. And then I was like, restart audio. I was sending her the request to restart audio and she was like, what happened? Oh, you mute me. And I was like, OMG. So yes. After we finished, I had to say her like, I'm so sorry. The other's house was so noisy, so I tried to mute her, but I confused myself and I mute you. So please
forgive me.
Forgive me. I'm so sorry.
And that was on air?
No, fortunately, no.
Ah, okay.
But
so that's not so
we were recording that, so it was kind of embarrassing. If you look the interviews and you find it, and you listen all the interviews, you can find it. Like.
There are many things that are funny. Especially at the beginning of the last semester, you start talking to students and you say, hey, have you ever played this game? No, teacher. Have you ever played Kahoot? No, teacher. Have you ever used Mentimeter? No, teacher. Have you ever used lyrics training? No, teacher. But the funny thing is that when you Well, you ask him, hey, well, who was your last teacher? No, my last teacher was X teacher, Professor X. And then you talk to that teacher. Hey, did you have the student? Yes. And how was it? No, that's a nice student. He participates a lot. He plays a lot with us. He got a great listening because he used lyrics training a lot. In the class, we play Kahoot. He's the first one. And you start like thinking, I mean, is it that every semester there is a machine that clears their memory and they don't remember anything? Or is it just that they literally can't remember the activities that you do in a class? That's funny.
I think both of them. There's a machine and they just can't remember.
What's the machine called? Netflix?
Maybe. Or video games, like your student.
No, actually, video games have the capacity to no, that's not the word. To make your brain become more active and to remember more things.
Yes, but if you're playing,
stimulates the memory. No, that's a different thing.
That's
a different thing.
Yes.
One of the things that the video games make in a very good way is to stimulate the brain and to stimulate memory. But the problem is that you stimulate the memory about video games. You don't stimulate any other memory.
Exactly.
So you ask him, do you remember what was the first game that you played? Yeah. Who was in your team? This one. What was this score? What did we do last class? I don't remember, teacher.
What did you eat at breakfast? I don't remember.
No, they don't remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember your breakfast yesterday?
I don't
remember.
I don't breakfast.
You don't have breakfast?
No, I just have lunch and meat.
Why not? If it is not a personal question.
I don't know. It's just that.
You got used to.
Yes, I got used to.
No, I have to eat every 3 hours.
No, I can't. I mean, if I have breakfast at 9 a.m., for example, like on weekend, I can have lunch.
No?
No. I get hungry like at 4 p.m.
And when you go to the movies, or popcorn is not in the list.
I feel like when I go to the movies, and of course popcorn is on the list, I feel like full for 2 days.
You feel packed.
That's like I can't eat anymore.
So when you go to the movies, you got the popcorn and you got the soda, and the next day you don't have any breakfast, you don't have any tea, nothing.
At the next day at lunchtime, I am like, okay, I can eat. But I have to eat.
Okay, Marita, time is what was the slogan? Time flies on radio.
Time flies on radio.
Imagine on
TV, but now we are on radio and on TV.
And time flies too.
Yes.
Thank you very much. See you next class.
Bye.
I'm a teacher. See you next show.
See you next show.
We continue talking about things on the pandemic. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, are you listening to UnabOnAir right now? If not, what are you waiting for?
A new program has arrived on UnabRadio.com to live the English language.
Are you listening to UnabOnAir right now?
UnabOnAir will bring you news, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon. Join us at UnabRadio.com and enjoy the UnabOnAir experience. News, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon.